front. Well, the markets are up today in America. They were down, they were up, they were down, they closed up a bit. And the Fed, the minutes came out yesterday, and they're going to still raise rates. They're looking, probably by the time it's all over, about 5.4%. And what does our president, the traitor, do to George Washington, who won that? Goes over to Ukraine, gives him another $500 million of our money. People are living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, that's the new America. America. Going back to the markets. And gold is down again because the dollar's getting stronger, because they're going to keep raising rates. And we're going to go into that more and more. But again, the magazine's filled with this information that you need to prepare, prevail, and prosper in these very, very dangerous times ahead. Poor nation's debt soars. This is from the Financial Times. The global banking industry, a bunch of banksters that steal our money. They put it in their bank and they give us nothing back for it. Yeah, them. Has warned that developing country debt piles have hit a fresh high, adding new fears of a wave of default. 2 years. Again, the dollar gets stronger. They got all this debt. It's dollar-based. Their currencies are going down. It costs them more dough to pay for their debt. Oh, and as the economy's going down, to make a bad situation worse, we show the socioeconomic and geopolitical implications. You think the refugee problems are bad now? You ain't seen anything yet. More and more people are going to be taking to the streets in protest of lack of basic living standards.
What do you expect regarding the U.S. economy for 2023?
It depends on what they do with interest rates. And I don't believe a word that they say. And the reason I don't believe a word that Powell or Yellen yells out is by their deeds you shall know them. So let's go back to 2021 as inflation is skyrocketing. And they come out with all the arrogance that, no, this isn't inflation. It's only temporary. And as inflation keeps going and going, well, no, it's not temporary, but it's transitory. So the numbers are rigged. So going back to what are they going to do? And you can't believe anything that they're saying, as I see it, because of the lies or ignorance that they've said before.
What do we expect for 2023 with CBDCs?
Continuing. Again, they're going to go, all of them are going to go digital. They're going to use this as an excuse to come up with a new currency. And the bottom line is that they have all this debt and they got to wash it out with a new currency. And number two, and most importantly, with a digital currency, they know every penny that you spent, where you spent it, what you spent it on. So they even have more and more control over you, but most importantly, they get every penny from you in tax dollars, because these politicians don't work. All they do is have a lifetime job of playing politics. They don't have real jobs. And all the bureaucrats that they have, all their buddies, all their friends, all the things they create, they want to keep that going. So now when they could get all your tax dollars, that's all they are interested in. I mean, you know, they'll do anything. Again, I don't call it a government, by the way. I call it a crime syndicate. And by their deeds you shall know them. They're murderers and thieves. A new industrial age. Report highlights renewable energy boom. And they're estimating that if they call us the dawn of a new industrial age, and they're going on to say this is the International Energy Agency, IEA, there's going to be $650 billion a year spent, and China's dominating both the production and trade of most clean energy technologies, because the business of China is business, while the business of America is war. Could you imagine if NATO and the United States, since the end of World War II, rather than all these wars, and probably the hundreds of trillions of dollars spent, in the military, industrial, and intelligence, i.e. spying complex, was put into research and development? Could you imagine? We'd have a very clean, cheap energy, and we'd be living much much nicer lives in so many ways. But fear, hysteria, hate, and war is what they sell. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. One nation under God? What God you talking about? What God you talking about? That supports all this war. Indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Invisible liberty and justice. There's no liberty and justice. The bigs are going to slap on their wrist. Liberty, they tell us everything to do. All these heads, what liberty? And these faces starting wars say we're going to bring freedom and democracy to another country. Yeah, when they robbed it from us right here. And here we are in February of 2023. Go back to March or April of 2020, just about 3 years ago. We warned of an office building bust, and now it's finally coming out there. They're only 3 years too late, but these are economic experts, so you swallow the shit that they shove down your throat when they're ready to shove it down your throat. February 22nd, 2 days before the Ukraine war began, when Russia invaded. Again, totally opposed the Russian invasion. From COVID war to Ukraine war, talk of peace is forbidden. And what they're doing is they're selling us war. Business Insider came out with this article. A nuclear attack would most likely target one of these 6 U.S. cities. But experts say none of them are prepared. They're selling the strategies of the 3 things you want to do. For everyday citizens, FEMA has some simple advice. Get inside, stay inside, and stay tuned. The 20th century was the American century. The 21st century is going to be the Chinese century. The business of America has been war. The business of China is business. They just passed a bill in the United States, a defense budget for $778 billion. Isn't that great? Yeah. Iraq war, Afghan war, only cost about $6 trillion. Haven't won anything. China, how many wars has China been in fighting around? The American century is over if they continue to go the direction that they're going with the crime syndicates in charge. These are not the brightest cats on the planet. And we've been covering this month after month, agency after agency. It's one big club and you ain't in it. They know what's going on. They're making the deals and they're betting the bets and becoming rich doing it, while the rest of us plantation workers on Slavelandia go broke.